This video is brought to you by Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is a monthly subscription box for guys who give a damn. Each box is packed with high quality gear and useful advice to help step up your life. The contents of each box ranges from tools and drinks to gear for style and travel, like this wet box, which comes with a set of Arkansas oil stones from 400 up to 3,000 grit for sharpening your knives. It also has some honing oil and a storage box made of Arkansas poplar. When you sign up, you'll take a quiz that helps teach Bespoke your interests, and at the beginning of each month, you'll get to see what's in your box before it ships. If you don't like it, you can choose from the other boxes available, skip that month, or return or exchange it hassle-free, and you can even add on other items from their store to ship with your box. For members, each box will cost $45 with free shipping, $55 for non-members, and has a total value of at least $70, often much more. If you want to see what it's all about, join the club using the link in the description and use coupon code BEST20 to get 20% off your first box. Almost poured my glass a little too fast. I wanted to show you this little tumbler. This is a really cool handmade glass-blown whiskey tumbler that my buddy Peter and my friends over at Big Idea Design had made. These things are so cool. Thanks, Pete. This thing is really, really neat. It's actually been a minute since I've had any whiskey whatsoever. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin, and it's time for another episode of the Best Damn EDC. If you're new here, that is the community show where I take your submissions and just go through them and talk about them and show you guys new gear. The whole point is to see what other people are carrying, how they carry it, and just finding new gear and different ways to carry different things. So for the very first time this week, more than any other thing that has ever been requested since I started this channel, is submissions on Instagram. So many people have asked. So I finally said this week, use the hashtag BestDamnEDC and I'll do the video from there. So I've not looked at this. I stopped looking at the hashtag when I announced I was gonna do this video. So with that said, let's do the damn thing. I did. I totally forgot to choose a winner for the TPT that I said I was going to give away several weeks ago in the last episode, and I did a random drawing for the winner of this. It was Ragman with this comment right here. Congrats, Ragman. I've already been in touch. We'll get this TPT to you. I'm going to do another giveaway today. We're giving away a KeySmart Rugged in red, and it's going to be the same deal. Just comment down below, but this time, tell me what you want to see on this community show next. Next Best Damn EDC episode be the theme, or do it on Facebook, or whatever. However you think I should do the next one, let me know down below. So here's the first one. This one's from Pagani SAK, and this is a copper themed carry. But the first thing here is a Picaroon Tools little pocket tool. It's just a bottle opener basically. But he also has a copper scaled, it looks like a mini champ with an anchor, which is really cool. It kind of keeps that whole nautical theme going on. He also has a copper Bugout, as well as a copper, I believe that is a Lumintop Tool AAA, and then finally the champagne scaled Pioneer X, it looks like. Yeah, there's scissors in there, so that's a Pioneer X. That's really cool. I like that. I have shied away from copper. I know I said carry the copper stuff for this whole pandemic thing. I'm more brass and titanium. Brass is a copper alloy, so it has those same antimicrobial properties, but still copper for me is just a little too heavy, especially for the summer. I've started lightening up my carries because I'm wearing shorts and things. I hate short pockets. They're the worst. Everything falls out of them. But regardless, lighter for summer carry. Here's a cool one from darksharp_EDC. Looks like he has a Zebra F701 pen, some sort of wedding band, a notebook, like a Midori traveler's notebook, and then he has a Benchmade that I've not seen before. That is the Nitrous Striker, and then he says, it's assisted action, hits hard, and the D2 blade still sharpens up nicely. So that's probably a much older Benchmade model. And then he has what looks like a titanium comb. Yeah, it is. Cool, little simple carry. No wallet, maybe you carry your cards inside the traveler's notebook, but I don't know, the picture just kind of jumped out at me. Here's a good photo. This comes from Rocket Surgeon EDC. He has, I don't know the brand of that wallet, maybe, yeah, see, that's one of the things about Instagram is nobody tags the makers. Well, I guess they do tag the makers, but they don't list out the product. So this is Main Street Forge for the wallet, I believe, maybe, I don't know. He has a Citizen Promaster diver, which is one of my favorite budget watches. He also has a Spyderco, I'm not sure which model that is, Dragonfly maybe, but it looks like it has a Wharncliffe blade and a Pioneer. It looks like probably, maybe that is a Cadet. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it is a 2018 version or 2019 version. Whatever year was the red Alox scales, and then a handkerchief underneath. And then he's got a second photo from a different angle. Looks more like a cadet to me, I believe. Regardless, I like those photos. Anything with some fade on it always catches my attention. So this one comes from Workman 92. I've actually noticed that this person is semi-local to me. They're in the mountains of North Carolina. And I think that's why it first caught my attention. I was just scrolling through this one day, not recently, weeks ago, and I noticed that she was in like the Boone or Asheville area. I can't remember which one. It says Bethlehem, North Carolina. Anyway, it's cool to see people somewhat near me who are also into EDC, because in real life, most people are like, I don't understand why people watch your videos. I don't understand why EDC is a thing, and I don't understand why you have 4 knives on you right now. But it's good to know that there are people locally who do or can relate. Anyway, she has one of those limited run tactile turns with these really cool anodizations. She also has a Streamlight micro stream. We have a Lynch Northwest All Access Pass that's been anodized bronze, as well as a Docile Phantom Air gun deck wallet and a Spyderco McBee with a handkerchief underneath. It's a really cool carry. Those are some really nice tactile turns. I love all the tactile turn stuff. You guys know that. Here's one from Cody's Carry, and I'm stopping at this one because it's different stuff. A lot of these, while the knife and a few other things like the watch may differ, a lot of these carries are turning into the same thing, like tactile turn pins, Docile Phantom Air wallets, and I don't know, Lynch Northwest All Access Passes. There's kind of a common theme between all these carries. But in this one, we have a Word notebook underneath everything, as well as a Lumintop tool. And the pin, what is the pin? Retro, I should know this, Retro 1951 Tornado, kind of modeled after a World War II airplane. We also have a Victorinox some sort, I'm not sure which Swiss Army knife that is. We have the Boker Vox F3, which is a really cool knife. I've not seen it carried a ton, but it's something you guys know I love Vox designs. And then finally we have an SKX 009 for the watch on a NATO strap. And then a nice little touch with a little plastic dinosaur in the top left. But it's nice to see different gear. That's one of the reasons that a lot of people were complaining about the show at one point, because it was just the same thing over and over and over. And I like to see variety. And yeah, I could try to do some different themed carries again. I did those in the past with, you know, like firefighter, first responders, and all of that. I've had so many requests for that. But the problem is when I want to do something like that, I ask for it, and then I get like 2 submissions. And that makes it kind of difficult to do an entire show with just 2 submissions. So maybe I'll introduce those again and try to work with that and figure out how we could mix it up a little bit. But you know, it gets kind of tough, and there is a lot of the same gear because, let's be honest, some of these makers are just really, really good. I love Tactile Turn, and I love what Casey Lynch is doing, and the Docile Phantom Air gun deck wallet and the Topsider are my favorite wallets. Like, everybody's kind of going the same way, and there's a reason for that. But that's just to say that it just can make things a little bit stale. And here's something I was talking about. This is from MKD9042. This is a zero tolerance 0609 knife, which is not something you see too terribly often. But then the pin is a tactile turn bolt action short, and then we have a Lumintop Tool AAA in what looks like titanium. It's kind of similar gear. It's always going to be, you know, kind of a variation of those similar things. So that's one thing I've been trying to do on the channel, is find new gear and talk about new gear that you guys don't necessarily know about, which is one of the things that I think got this channel its start, is me digging deep and finding stuff that not everybody knew about. Trouble is, I'm finding these really cool things, but a lot of them are very, very expensive. There's not a lot of new stuff or innovative stuff on the budget end of EDC. Now, one thing I've noticed since I promoted this hashtag and using it to submit to the show is that a lot of smaller brands have just been plastering it with the same thing over and over and over, and I'm not about that. That's not how it's intended to be used, and you're gonna be ignored. So just throwing that out there. All right, here's one from AMV SMC 0829. He has a Pharaoh EDC Pharaoh bottle opener, which is a little brass bottle opener knuck tool. He has a Chris Reeve Sabenza 21 with a carbon fiber inlay, as well as an Okluma DC0, which is one of my favorite flashlights, and then a Pete's Pirate Life Pocket Pro pen in brass. To be completely honest, brass and titanium go hand in hand, and that's why I loved the Chavez that I had so much, because it was a titanium handled knife with a brass inlay. Yeah, here is one from EDC Gearhouse. If you guys are unaware, EDC Gearhouse does knife mods, so you can send stuff to him and have your knife modified, which is a really, really cool service. It's kind of like EDC Alabama. When I featured him, he no longer does his modifications. He does, but he doesn't do a custom order. If you want to custom order a modification, you can go to EDC Gearhouse over on Instagram and find more information there. But this is a carry that he posted. He has a Mandalorian, KeyBar Jr, as well as a big idea design TI Click EDC. The pry tool here is a JK Design pry tool, not familiar with that. And then the knife is the Pena Knives, I think, is that a Rhino? He says, I've only seen one full Star Wars movie and I'm okay with that. Same. Today's featured modded knife is the Pena Rhino that a customer envisioned as it becoming a Mudhorn swipe for unedits. He does some really good work over at EDC Gearhouse. So go check him out if you want to see what he does and his modifications and maybe possibly get your own knife modded. Also, just a side note, my buddies over at Blade HQ have been doing videos on how to mod your own stuff. Also, my buddy Jeremy has done a video on how to mod your own knives. You can also do it at home, but if you want a professional to do it, consider EDC Gearhouse. That's a cool little picture. This comes from OCD EDC, and that is a EDC cooperative brass coin that he's captured falling. Nice little cool picture, like that's a cool effect. I love seeing people get creative with their photos and post them here. All right, here's a little bit of variety for you from Swabian Rebel. He has a Swiss Army knife, which he carries in a leather slip. That Swiss Army knife actually has some Swiss Bianco scales on it. So we typically see the BW SAKs or the Brass Works Swiss Army knives and the DE Custom Forge Swiss Army knife scales, but here is another version of a custom Swiss Army knife from Swiss Bianco. There's also a Peter Doering pin in the picture and a through night flashlight, which we don't see a ton of. So really cool to see a little bit of variety in the show. Here is actually another local person. This is Novel Carry, and he's in the Charlotte area, which is really cool. We've never met up, but I know that he's local. And in this photo, he has a knife. I mentioned EDC Alabama. That is Matt Warewine, and he now has Ware Knives. And this is one of his first models. This is the Lucas with a really, really nice vintage micarta scale. Really, I love the Lucas knife. He also has a Flint River Customs coin, as well as a nice kind of vintage Melbourne watch. And the pry tool, I don't know what the pry tool is. It kind of looks familiar. Maybe that's also from Ware Knives, because I know he teamed up with someone, can't remember who, and made some pry tools. So that might be from Matt. He's always got some cool gear, and he also does feature other people and their carries over on his website, Novel Carry. And here's another one from him as well. So you can see on the back side of that Lucas, there is a Timascus clip. And then we also have a Travax Contour, some number 24 from Musk and Hustle, my favorite cologne. It's the best. It's seriously the best. Then he has an iPhone 11 Pro Max and an Apple leather case. And then on his wrist, he has a Seiko 5 in blue. Really cool stuff. That's another account I follow. Highly recommend checking them out. This is a great photo as well. This one comes from EDC Dude 27. The first up in the very bottom corner of the photo is the highlight item. It's cut off and it's barely in there, but that is an Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch, and nice. He also has a Fellholter copper tiny bolt, as well as a copper i3E EOS, or no, copper i3T EOS, a Northwoods Fremont jackknife, as well as a Northwoods coin down there in the bottom, some sort of brass top, and then finally in the top there is a Cooperator coin and a Travax Contour. Really, really nice stuff. I've still never had a Fellholter pin. I still want a tiny bolt. They just seem so nice. I don't know what it is about them. They just speak to me. They seem like my kind of pin, and I especially like your. All right, so the little brass bottle opener of the Pharaoh that I talked about earlier, here's a photo from the Pharaoh, which is just really, really cool. So he has deconstructed some CRKT knife. I don't know the model number. I've seen it before. Anyway, he has this little tray, which is very, very cool. The photo is very nice. And he also has a Vero Engineering fulcrum in here. But it's just a really cool picture of a deconstructed knife. It's done really, really well. This picture's kind of old though, from March, but double tap on that one. I like that. That photo is vibes. That's all I got to say about that. So I think we're going to end it on this photo. This comes from EDC Dump 365. If I'm not mistaken, this is some sort of balancing act photo, which is really, really cool. It is called the Edward Steady Hands Challenge. That's a hashtag on Instagram. So in here we have a Benchmade Mini Crooked River, a Gerber multi-tool of some sort, I believe, a Timex Expedition Scout in the middle, another Gerber multi-tool, a Brassworks pry bar, Pete's Pirate Life pen, looks like a Clocks and Colors ring, and just a couple of other things, but it's all balanced. That's really cool. I don't know if this is done in post. It looks like it might be real, because you've got stuff that's layered front to back it looks like it's balanced. That's a really cool photo. It's not necessarily EDC, but it's EDC gear that, man, if you balanced those multi-tools on one another, that's impressive. That took some time and effort. Really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. It's just really cool to see you guys use that hashtag and get so creative with it and post really cool stuff. Gear that I'm not even familiar with, gear I've never, ever heard of. I think it's just really cool to see that happen over on Instagram. And maybe we'll do it again. Also follow me over there on Instagram because that's where I post a lot of the updates on what I'm gonna do for the show. So if I'm going to do a theme of some sort, I post it over there just because it's a little easier to post there. Maybe I can start using stories here on YouTube to tell you guys about what's coming up as well. Probably need to follow me over on Instagram or in the Discord server. I always mention stuff and announce stuff over in the Discord server. It's all linked down below. But that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing because there are a lot of you who are watching these videos who aren't subscribed. So we'll go ahead and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. And also if you wanna support what I'm doing here, hit the links down below. I will link some of the stuff I've talked about in this video. And if you purchase anything using those links, I will get a little bit of a kickback. It doesn't cost you anything extra. I also have a Patreon that's over at patreon.com/bestmedc and a store where you can buy gear and merch directly from me. That is Carry Commission. So carrycommission.com or carry.best will take you to the same place. Be sure to follow us around the web. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at bestmedc. There's now a Facebook group and a Discord server. And you can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at CasperTech. And until next time, carry on.